占知识区。
Forbid.
Forbid.
The doctor forbids him to smoke.
The doctor forbids him to smoke. The doctor forbids him to smoke.
Force.
Force.
I was forced to open the door.
I was forced to open the door. I was forced to open the door.
He didn't use much force.
He didn't use much force. He didn't use much force.
He took the money from his wife by force.
He took the money from his wife by force. He took the money from his wife by force.
Forecast.
Forecast.
The weather forecast says there will be rain.
The weather forecast says there will be rain. The weather forecast says there will be rain.
Forehead.
Forehead.
He has a broad forehead.
He has a broad forehead. He has a broad forehead.
Foreign.
Foreign.
You must be good at a foreign language.
You must be good at a foreign language. You must be good at a foreign language.
Their company sells partly to foreign markets.
Their company sells partly to foreign markets. Their company sells partly to foreign markets.
Foreigner.
Foreigner.
He is a foreigner.
He is a foreigner. He is a foreigner.
Forest.
Forest.
The forest continues for miles.
The forest continues for miles. The forest continues for miles.
The forest is gone forever.
The forest is gone forever. The forest is gone forever.
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 He is forever complaining.
He is forever complaining. He is forever complaining.
I love you forever.
I love you forever. I love you forever.
Forge.
Forge.
One runner forged ahead of the others and won the race.
One runner forged ahead of the others and won the race. One runner forged ahead of the others and won the race.
Forget.
Forget.
I'm sorry, I have forgotten your name.
I'm sorry, I have forgotten your name. I'm sorry, I have forgotten your name.
I forgot posting the letter.
I forgot posting the letter. I forgot posting the letter.
I forgot my keys.
I forgot my keys. I forgot my keys.
Forgive.
Forgive.
He will never forgive his parents for what they have done to him.
He will never forgive his parents for what they have done to him. He will never forgive his parents for what they have done to him.
Please forgive me for coming so late.
Please forgive me for coming so late. Please forgive me for coming so late.
Fork.
Fork.
We use a fork to eat food.
We use a fork to eat food. We use a fork to eat food.
Their paths diverged at the fork in the road.
Their paths diverged at the fork in the road. Their paths diverged at the fork in the road.
Form. We have formed a football team.
We have formed a football team. We have formed a football team.
He seems to dislike any form of exercise.
He seems to dislike any form of exercise. He seems to dislike any form of exercise.
Formal.
Formal.
The letter is written in a formal style.
The letter is written in a formal style. The letter is written in a formal style.
Business letters are usually formal.
Business letters are usually formal. Business letters are usually formal.
Format. Formation. Clouds are formations of tiny drops of water in the sky.
Clouds are formations of tiny drops of water in the sky. Clouds are formations of tiny drops of water in the sky.
Former. Of swimming and football he much preferred the former.
Of swimming and football he much preferred the former. Of swimming and football he much preferred the former.
All his former friends turned against him.
All his former friends turned against him. All his former friends turned against him.
He duplicated his former mistakes.
He duplicated his former mistakes. He duplicated his former mistakes.
Formula. They proposed a third formula.
They proposed a third formula.
Fourth. The sun came forth from behind the cloud.
The sun came forth from behind the cloud. The sun came forth from behind the cloud.
Fortnight. I'm going on holiday for a fortnight.
I'm going on holiday for a fortnight.
Fortunate. She is fortunate in having such a kind husband.
She is fortunate in having such a kind husband. She is fortunate in having such a kind husband.
Fortunately.
Fortunately. Fortunately.
Fortunately, the train was late, so we did not miss it.
Fortunately, the train was late, so we did not miss it. Fortunately, the train was late, so we did not miss it.
Fortune.
Fortune. Fortune.
He received a large fortune when his uncle died.
He received a large fortune when his uncle died. He received a large fortune when his uncle died.
He did not deserve such fortune.
He did not deserve such fortune. He did not deserve such fortune.
40.
40. 40.
He will be 40 on his next birthday.
He will be 40 on his next birthday. He will be 40 on his next birthday.
There are 40 people in the classroom.
There are 40 people in the classroom. There are 40 people in the classroom.
Forward.
Forward. Forward.
I am looking forward to seeing you again soon.
I am looking forward to seeing you again soon. I am looking forward to seeing you again soon.
You can put forward your suggestion at the meeting.
You can put forward your suggestion at the meeting. You can put forward your suggestion at the meeting.
Please move your car forward.
Please move your car forward. Please move your car forward.
Found.
Found. Found.
Marriage should be founded on love.
Marriage should be founded on love. Marriage should be founded on love.
The hospital was founded last year.
The hospital was founded last year. The hospital was founded last year.
Foundation.
Foundation. Foundation.
Socrates laid the foundations of logic.
Socrates laid the foundations of logic. Socrates laid the foundations of logic.
The rumor is without foundation in fact.
The rumor is without foundation in fact. The rumor is without foundation in fact.
Fountain.
Fountain. Fountain.
A fountain of water shot from the pipe.
A fountain of water shot from the pipe. A fountain of water shot from the pipe.
4.
4. 4.
4 and 3 make 7.
4 and 3 make 7. 4 and 3 make 7.
A square has 4 sides.
A square has 4 sides. A square has 4 sides.
This car is 4-wheel drived.
This car is 4-wheel drived. This car is 4-wheel drived.
14.
14. 14.
He is 14, old enough to take care of himself.
He is 14, old enough to take care of himself. He is 14, old enough to take care of himself.
Fox.
Fox. Fox.
He was jokingly called Old Fox by his partner.
He was jokingly called Old Fox by his partner. He was jokingly called Old Fox by his partner.
He is an old fox.
He is an old fox. He is an old fox.
Fraction.
Fraction. Fraction.
She spends only a fraction of her earnings.
She spends only a fraction of her earnings. She spends only a fraction of her earnings.
Fragment.
Fragment. Fragment.
The bowl dropped on the floor and broke into fragments.
The bowl dropped on the floor and broke into fragments. The bowl dropped on the floor and broke into fragments.
Frame.
Frame. Frame.
The trees make a pleasant frame to the house.
The trees make a pleasant frame to the house. The trees make a pleasant frame to the house.
Framework.
Framework. Framework.
This bridge over the river has a steel framework.
This bridge over the river has a steel framework. This bridge over the river has a steel framework.
Frank.
Frank. Frank.
He is frank with me about everything.
He is frank with me about everything. He is frank with me about everything.
Free.
Free. Free.
You can download many free softwares from internet.
You can download many free softwares from internet. You can download many free softwares from internet.
You are free to do what you like.
You are free to do what you like. You are free to do what you like.
England is a free country.
England is a free country. England is a free country.
Will you be free this afternoon?
Will you be free this afternoon? Will you be free this afternoon?
Freedom.
Freedom. Freedom.
The slaves yearn for freedom.
The slaves yearn for freedom. The slaves yearn for freedom.
The slaves got freedom after the abolition of slavery.
The slaves got freedom after the abolition of slavery. The slaves got freedom after the abolition of slavery.
Freeze.
Freeze. Freeze.
It is freezing cold now.
It is freezing cold now. It is freezing cold now.
Water freezes at 0 degree.
Water freezes at 0 degree. Water freezes at 0 degree.
Freight.
Freight. Freight.
The engine pulled a long line of freight cars.
The engine pulled a long line of freight cars. The engine pulled a long line of freight cars.
The freight is not included in the account.
The freight is not included in the account. The freight is not included in the account.
Frequency.
Frequency. Frequency.
This radio station broadcasts on 3 different frequencies.
This radio station broadcasts on 3 different frequencies. This radio station broadcasts on 3 different frequencies.
I am majored in audio frequency amplifier.
I am majored in audio frequency amplifier. I am majored in audio frequency amplifier.
Frequent.
Frequent. Frequent.
You are a frequent visitor at my house.
You are a frequent visitor at my house. You are a frequent visitor at my house.
Rains are frequent here in early summer.
Rains are frequent here in early summer. Rains are frequent here in early summer.
Fresh.
Fresh. Fresh.
We need more fresh water.
We need more fresh water. We need more fresh water.
This meat is not very fresh.
This meat is not very fresh. This meat is not very fresh.
Friday.
Friday. Friday.
May will arrive on Friday morning.
May will arrive on Friday morning. May will arrive on Friday morning.
We'll start at 6 on Friday morning.
We'll start at 6 on Friday morning. We'll start at 6 on Friday morning.
Fridge.
Fridge. Fridge.
Please get me an ice cube out of the fridge.
Please get me an ice cube out of the fridge. Please get me an ice cube out of the fridge.
Friend.
Friend. Friend.
He is my good friend.
He is my good friend. He is my good friend.
In any case, he is a friend of mine.
In any case, he is a friend of mine. In any case, he is a friend of mine.
Smith is an old friend of mine.
Smith is an old friend of mine. Smith is an old friend of mine.
Friendly.
Friendly. Friendly.
The talk was conducted in a friendly atmosphere.
The talk was conducted in a friendly atmosphere. The talk was conducted in a friendly atmosphere.
He is friendly to us all.
He is friendly to us all. He is friendly to us all.
Friendship.
Friendship. Friendship.
Their friendship lasted for 20 years.
Their friendship lasted for 20 years. Their friendship lasted for 20 years.
Real friendship can last for good.
Real friendship can last for good. Real friendship can last for good.
Frighten.
Frighten. Frighten.
The alarm frightened the thief away.
The alarm frightened the thief away. The alarm frightened the thief away.
Frog.
Frog. Frog.
He poked at the frog with a stick.
He poked at the frog with a stick. He poked at the frog with a stick.
There are a lot of frogs in this pond.
There are a lot of frogs in this pond. There are a lot of frogs in this pond.
From.
From. From.
He came from Japan.
He came from Japan. He came from Japan.
She is singing from morning to night.
She is singing from morning to night. She is singing from morning to night.
He is from Harbin.
He is from Harbin. He is from Harbin.
I received a letter from my brother.
I received a letter from my brother. I received a letter from my brother.
Front.
Front. Front.
The front of the postcard shows a picture of a lake.
The front of the postcard shows a picture of a lake. The front of the postcard shows a picture of a lake.
The villa fronts the lake.
The villa fronts the lake. The villa fronts the lake.
Frontier.
Frontier. Frontier.
He is using theories on the frontier of astrophysics.
He is using theories on the frontier of astrophysics. He is using theories on the frontier of astrophysics.
He wrote a book descriptive of the frontier provinces.
He wrote a book descriptive of the frontier provinces. He wrote a book descriptive of the frontier provinces.
Frost.
Frost. Frost.
The rocks are disintegrated by frost and rain.
The rocks are disintegrated by frost and rain. The rocks are disintegrated by frost and rain.
The grass was covered with frost in the early morning.
The grass was covered with frost in the early morning. The grass was covered with frost in the early morning.
Frown.
Frown. Frown.
He sat frowning over a crossword puzzle.
He sat frowning over a crossword puzzle. He sat frowning over a crossword puzzle.
Fruit.
Fruit. Fruit.
These apple trees fruit well.
These apple trees fruit well. These apple trees fruit well.
I like fruit and vegetables.
I like fruit and vegetables. I like fruit and vegetables.
Fruitful.
Fruitful. Fruitful.
Newton's laws were fruitful for science.
Newton's laws were fruitful for science. Newton's laws were fruitful for science.
Frustrate.
Frustrate. Frustrate.
He was frustrated in his ambition.
He was frustrated in his ambition. He was frustrated in his ambition.
Fry.
Fry. Fry.
The eggs were frying in the pan.
The eggs were frying in the pan. The eggs were frying in the pan.
Fuel.
Fuel. Fuel.
Aircraft sometimes fuel while in the air.
Aircraft sometimes fuel while in the air. Aircraft sometimes fuel while in the air.
Gas and coal are fuels.
Gas and coal are fuels. Gas and coal are fuels.
Fulful.
Fulfil. Fulfil.
When Stephen grew up, he fulfilled his hopes and became a doctor.
When Stephen grew up, he fulfilled his hopes and became a doctor. When Stephen grew up, he fulfilled his hopes and became a doctor.
Fulfill.
Fulfill. Fulfill.
He has fulfilled the orders that I give him.
He has fulfilled the orders that I gave him. He has fulfilled the orders that I gave him.
Full.
Full. Full.
The boy went on eating till he was full.
The boy went on eating till he was full. The boy went on eating till he was full.
The room was full of people.
The room was full of people. The room was full of people.
He is full of ideas.
He is full of ideas. He is full of ideas.
Fun.
Fun. Fun.
I wasn't serious. I only did it for fun.
I wasn't serious. I only did it for fun. I wasn't serious. I only did it for fun.
Playing basketball is great fun.
Playing basketball is great fun. Playing basketball is great fun.
Function.
Function. Function.
The elevator was not functioning.
The elevator was not functioning. The elevator was not functioning.
The function of bones is to give rigidity.
The function of bones is to give rigidity. The function of bones is to give rigidity.
Fund.
Fund. Fund.
The work is funded by the government.
The work is funded by the government. The work is funded by the government.
Fundamental.
Fundamental. Fundamental.
Fresh air is fundamental to good health.
Fresh air is fundamental to good health. Fresh air is fundamental to good health.
Funeral.
Funeral. Funeral.
Funeral customs vary with different religions.
Funeral customs vary with different religions. Funeral customs vary with different religions.
The funeral will be held according to church rites.
The funeral will be held according to church rites. The funeral will be held according to church rites.
Funny.
Funny. Funny.
A funny thing happened.
A funny thing happened. A funny thing happened.
This is a very funny book.
This is a very funny book. This is a very funny book.
Fur.
Fur. Fur.
Cats have fur.
Cats have fur. Cats have fur.
Furnace.
Furnace. Furnace.
This meeting room's as hot as a furnace.
This meeting room's as hot as a furnace. This meeting room's as hot as a furnace.
Furnish.
Furnish. Furnish.
The room was furnished with a desk and hat stand.
The room was furnished with a desk and hat stand. The room was furnished with a desk and hat stand.
Furniture.
Furniture. Furniture.
The furniture is made of walnut.
The furniture is made of walnut. The furniture is made of walnut.
We don't have much furniture.
We don't have much furniture. We don't have much furniture.
Further.
Further. Further.
I'll give you $10, but I cannot go any further.
I'll give you $10, but I cannot go any further. I'll give you $10, but I cannot go any further.
We will help you further.
We will help you further. We will help you further.
Furthermore.
Furthermore. Furthermore.
He is lazy, and furthermore, he has no sense of responsibility.
He is lazy, and furthermore, he has no sense of responsibility. He is lazy, and furthermore, he has no sense of responsibility.
Fuss.
Fuss. Fuss.
There is no need to make such a big fuss over it.
There is no need to make such a big fuss over it. There is no need to make such a big fuss over it.
You're making too much fuss about it.
You're making too much fuss about it. You're making too much fuss about it.
Future.
Future. Future.
There is a bright future ahead of us.
There is a bright future ahead of us. There is a bright future ahead of us.
There's no future in this job.
There's no future in this job. There's no future in this job.
Gain.
Gain. Gain.
No gains without pains.
No gains without pains. No gains without pains.
It takes years to gain a mastery of Japanese.
It takes years to gain a mastery of Japanese. It takes years to gain a mastery of Japanese.
Gallery.
Gallery. Gallery.
I want 2 tickets for the gallery, please.
I want 2 tickets for the gallery, please. I want 2 tickets for the gallery, please.
Gallon.
Gallon. Gallon.
This type of car can run 25 miles a gallon.
This type of car can run 25 miles a gallon. This type of car can run 25 miles a gallon.
Game.
Game. Game.
Game is over.
Game is over. Game is over.
Football is a team game.
Football is a team game. Football is a team game.
Gang.
Gang. Gang.
The bank was robbed by a gang of bandits.
The bank was robbed by a gang of bandits. The bank was robbed by a gang of bandits.
Jail.
Jail. Jail.
He was gargled for a year.
He was gargled for a year. He was gargled for a year.
Gap.
Gap. Gap.
There are several gaps in the record.
There are several gaps in the record. There are several gaps in the record.
Garage.
Garage. Garage.
He worked in a garage as a mechanic.
He worked in a garage as a mechanic. He worked in a garage as a mechanic.
Garbage.
Garbage. Garbage.
Dig a pit and bury the garbage.
Dig a pit and bury the garbage. Dig a pit and bury the garbage.
Garden.
Garden. Garden.
All the tulips in the garden are in full blossom.
All the tulips in the garden are in full blossom. All the tulips in the garden are in full blossom.
The garden is full of weeds.
The garden is full of weeds. The garden is full of weeds.
There is a botanical garden in Paris.
There is a botanical garden in Paris. There is a botanical garden in Paris.
Gardener.
Gardener. Gardener.
Teachers are often compared to diligent gardeners.
Teachers are often compared to diligent gardeners. Teachers are often compared to diligent gardeners.
Garlic.
Garlic. Garlic.
There is too much garlic in the food.
There is too much garlic in the food. There is too much garlic in the food.
Gas.
Gas. Gas.
I can smell a gas leak.
I can smell a gas leak. I can smell a gas leak.
My mother has a gas stove for cooking.
My mother has a gas stove for cooking. My mother has a gas stove for cooking.
Gasoline.
Gasoline. Gasoline.
Our car is out of gasoline.
Our car is out of gasoline. Our car is out of gasoline.
Gate.
Gate. Gate.
The painter painted the gate black.
The painter painted the gate black. The painter painted the gate black.
A tall man is waiting for you at the gate.
A tall man is waiting for you at the gate. A tall man is waiting for you at the gate.
Gather.
Gather. Gather.
The teacher gathered the pupils round her.
The teacher gathered the pupils round her. The teacher gathered the pupils round her.
A lot of people gathered in the street.
A lot of people gathered in the street. A lot of people gathered in the street.
Gay.
Gay. Gay.
The country is gay with all colors of bunting.
The country is gay with all colors of bunting. The country is gay with all colors of bunting.
Gaze.
Gaze. Gaze.
The child gazed at the toys in the shop window.
The child gazed at the toys in the shop window. The child gazed at the toys in the shop window.
Gear.
Gear. Gear.
He put the car in gear and drove away.
He put the car in gear and drove away. He put the car in gear and drove away.
Gleason spiral bevel gear cutter.
Gleason spiral bevel gear cutter. Gleason spiral bevel gear cutter.
Gene.
Gene. Gene.
Heredity is controlled by genes.
Heredity is controlled by genes. Heredity is controlled by genes.
General.
General. General.
I'll give you a general idea of it.
I'll give you a general idea of it. I'll give you a general idea of it.
I like games in general, and especially football.
I like games in general, and especially football. I like games in general, and especially football.
Generally.
Generally. Generally.
It is generally believed that smoking is harmful to health.
It is generally believed that smoking is harmful to health. It is generally believed that smoking is harmful to health.
This book is generally accurate.
This book is generally accurate. This book is generally accurate.
Generally speaking, boys like active sports more than girls do.
Generally speaking, boys like active sports more than girls do. Generally speaking, boys like active sports more than girls do.
Our new plan was generally welcomed.
Our new plan was generally welcomed. Our new plan was generally welcomed.
Generate.
Generate. Generate.
A dynamo is used to generate electricity.
A dynamo is used to generate electricity. A dynamo is used to generate electricity.
Generation.
Generation. Generation.
3 generations live in our house.
3 generations live in our house. 3 generations live in our house.
The older generation doesn't like pop music.
The older generation doesn't like pop music. The older generation doesn't like pop music.
Generator.
Generator. Generator.
She was a constant generator of story ideas.
She was a constant generator of story ideas. She was a constant generator of story ideas.
Generous.
Generous. Generous.
He is generous with his money.
He is generous with his money. He is generous with his money.
He is not so generous at all.
He is not so generous at all. He is not so generous at all.
Genius.
Genius. Genius.
Einstein was a genius.
Einstein was a genius. Einstein was a genius.
Gentle.
Gentle. Gentle.
Mothers are gentle with their babies.
Mothers are gentle with their babies. Mothers are gentle with their babies.
The nurses are very gentle.
The nurses are very gentle. The nurses are very gentle.
Gentlemen.
Gentlemen. Gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen.
It is not the act of a gentleman.
It is not the act of a gentleman. It is not the act of a gentleman.
Genuine.
Genuine. Genuine.
He can distinguish a genuine antique from a reproduction.
He can distinguish a genuine antique from a reproduction. He can distinguish a genuine antique from a reproduction.
Her love for him was genuine.
Her love for him was genuine. Her love for him was genuine.
Geography.
Geography. Geography.
Will you show me the geography?
Will you show me the geography? Will you show me the geography?
His geography is poor.
His geography is poor. His geography is poor.
Geometry.
Geometry. Geometry.
He studies spherical geometry.
He studies spherical geometry. He studies spherical geometry.
Germ.
Germ. Germ.
Is this milk free from germs?
Is this milk free from germs? Is this milk free from germs?
Gesture.
Gesture. Gesture.
I gestured for him to keep quiet.
I gestured for him to keep quiet. I gestured for him to keep quiet.
Her gesture was indicative of contempt.
Her gesture was indicative of contempt. Her gesture was indicative of contempt.
Get.
Get. Get.
Things are getting better.
Things are getting better. Things are getting better.
I must get the television fixed.
I must get the television fixed. I must get the television fixed.
When we got to the station, the bus was waiting.
When we got to the station, the bus was waiting. When we got to the station, the bus was waiting.
Ghost.
Ghost. Ghost.
He looked as if he had seen a ghost.
He looked as if he had seen a ghost. He looked as if he had seen a ghost.
There is no such thing as a ghost in reality.
There is no such thing as a ghost in reality. There is no such thing as a ghost in reality.
Giant.
Giant. Giant.
Shakespeare is a giant among writers.
Shakespeare is a giant among writers. Shakespeare is a giant among writers.
Gift.
Gift. Gift.
Nora has a gift for singing.
Nora has a gift for singing. Nora has a gift for singing.
It is a gift for my brother.
It is a gift for my brother. It is a gift for my brother.
Girl.
Girl. Girl.
The little girl likes cookies.
The little girl likes cookies. The little girl likes cookies.
The girl has golden hair.
The girl has golden hair. The girl has golden hair.
My little girl is at primary school.
My little girl is at primary school. My little girl is at primary school.
Give.
Give. Give.
Please give me an example.
Please give me an example. Please give me an example.
You must give this matter priority.
You must give this matter priority. You must give this matter priority.
Please give me a cup of tea.
Please give me a cup of tea. Please give me a cup of tea.
Given.
Given. Given.
Given good weather, we will have an outing.
Given good weather, we will have an outing. Given good weather, We will have an outing.
Please do it within the given time.
Please do it within the given time. Please do it within the given time.
Glad.
Glad. Glad.
I'll be glad to do it for you.
I'll be glad to do it for you. I'll be glad to do it for you.
I'm so glad to see you.
I'm so glad to see you. I'm so glad to see you.
Glance.
Glance. Glance.
He could tell at a glance what is wrong with the bike.
He could tell at a glance what is wrong with a bike. He could tell at a glance what is wrong with a bike.
I know him at a glance.
I know him at a glance. I know him at a glance.
Glass.
Glass. Glass.
I cut my hand on some broken glass.
I cut my hand on some broken glass. I cut my hand on some broken glass.
I'd like a glass of orange juice.
I'd like a glass of orange juice. I'd like a glass of orange juice.
The glass fell and was smashed into pieces.
The glass fell and was smashed into pieces. The glass fell and was smashed into pieces.
Glimpse.
Glimpse. Glimpse.
I caught a glimpse of our new neighbor.
I caught a glimpse of our new neighbor. I caught a glimpse of our new neighbor.
Global.
Global. Global.
Environmental protection has been a global concern.
Environmental protection has been a global concern. Environmental protection has been a global concern.
Globe.
Globe. Globe.
The earth is a globe.
The earth is a globe. The earth is a globe.
Glorious.
Glorious. Glorious.
Our country has a glorious past.
Our country has a glorious past. Our country has a glorious past.
Glory.
Glory. Glory.
He is in his glory now.
He is in his glory now. He is in his glory now.
Glove.
Glove. Glove.
He put on his gloves and went out.
He put on his gloves and went out. He put on his gloves and went out.
Glow.
Glow. Glow.
His face glowed with delight.
His face glowed with delight. His face glowed with delight.
Glue.
Glue. Glue.
Can you glue the broken vase together?
Can you glue the broken vase together? Can you glue the broken vase together?
He used gelatin to glue the papers together.
He used gelatin to glue the papers together. He used gelatin to glue the papers together.
Go.
Go. Go.
What's going on here?
What's going on here? What's going on here?
My wallet is gone.
My wallet is gone. My wallet is gone.
Who is not going to Japan?
Who is not going to Japan? Who is not going to Japan?
How is everything going?
How is everything going? How is everything going?
Goal.
Goal. Goal.
His goal is a place at university.
His goal is a place at university. His goal is a place at university.
Goat.
Goat. Goat.
The goat fell dead immediately when we shot it.
The goat fell dead immediately when we shot it. The goat fell dead immediately when we shot it.
Stop acting the goat.
Stop acting the goat. Stop acting the goat.
God.
God. God.
Thank God.
Thank God. Thank God.
For God's sake, please tell me the truth.
For God's sake, please tell me the truth. For God's sake, please tell me the truth.
Gold.
Gold. Gold.
People used to pay in gold.
People used to pay in gold. People used to pay in gold.
All contestants want to win the gold medal.
All contestants want to win the gold medal. All contestants want to win the gold medal.
Golden.
Golden. Golden.
The girl has golden hair.
The girl has golden hair. The girl has golden hair.
Golf.
Golf. Golf.
He is a golf player.
He is a golf player. He is a golf player.
I play golf for relaxation.
I play golf for relaxation. I play golf for relaxation.
Good.
Good. Good.
He is very good at French.
He is very good at French. He is very good at French.
Honey is good for you.
Honey is good for you. Honey is good for you.
I am telling you this for your good.
I am telling you this for your good. I am telling you this for your good.
Goodbye, E.
Goodbye, E. Goodbye, E.
Goodness.
Goodness. Goodness.
My goodness.
My goodness. My goodness.
Goose.
Goose. Goose.
We saw a flock of geese in the lake.
We saw a flock of geese in the lake. We saw a flock of geese in the lake.
Govern.
Govern. Govern.
He couldn't govern his temper.
He couldn't govern his temper. He couldn't govern his temper.
Government.
Government. Government.
The government has approved the budget.
The government has approved the budget. The government has approved the budget.
The government provides food for the refugees.
The government provides food for the refugees. The government provides food for the refugees.
Governor.
Governor. Governor.
Who is the governor of this country?
Who is the governor of this country? Who is the governor of this country?
Grab.
Grab. Grab.
He grabbed me by the arm.
He grabbed me by the arm. He grabbed me by the arm.
Grace.
Grace. Grace.
She walks with grace.
She walks with grace. She walks with grace.
Graceful.
Graceful. Graceful.
She is as graceful as a swan.
She is as graceful as a swan. She is as graceful as a swan.
Grade.
Grade. Grade.
I'm in grade 1.
I'm in grade 1. I'm in grade 1.
High-grade petrol is expensive.
High-grade petrol is expensive. High-grade petrol is expensive.
Gradual.
Gradual. Gradual.
There has been a gradual growth in membership.
There has been a gradual growth in membership. There has been a gradual growth in membership.
His health showed gradual improvement.
His health showed gradual improvement. His health showed gradual improvement.
Graduate.
Graduate. Graduate.
She graduated from Cambridge.
She graduated from Cambridge. She graduated from Cambridge.
He will graduate from Peking University before long.
He will graduate from Peking University before long. He will graduate from Peking University before long.
Grain.
Grain. Grain.
A windmill is used to crush grain into flour.
A windmill is used to crush grain into flour. A windmill is used to crush grain into flour.
Not a grain of rice should be wasted.
Not a grain of rice should be wasted. Not a grain of rice should be wasted.
Gram.
Gram. Gram.
The gram is a metric unit.
The gram is a metric unit. The gram is a metric unit.
Grammar.
Grammar. Grammar.
He has extracted a great many examples from the grammar book.
He has extracted a great many examples from the grammar book. He has extracted a great many examples from the grammar book.
He had great difficulty in English grammar.
He had great difficulty in English grammar. He had great difficulty in English grammar.
Gram.
Gram. Gram.
Grand.
Grand. Grand.
He lives in a grand house.
He lives in a grand house. He lives in a grand house.
Grandfather.
Grandfather. Grandfather.
Her grandfather died 10 years ago.
Her grandfather died 10 years ago. Her grandfather died 10 years ago.
Grandmother.
Grandmother. Grandmother.
My grandmother has been ill for a week.
My grandmother has been ill for a week. My grandmother has been ill for a week.
Grant.
Grant. Grant.
He granted me my request.
He granted me my request. He granted me my request.
Grape.
Grape. Grape.
I think it's just sour grapes.
I think it's just sour grapes. I think it's just sour grapes.
Graph.
Graph. Graph.
They made a graph of weather.
They made a graph of weather. They made a graph of weather.
Grasp.
Grasp. Grasp.
I grasped the cat by the back of its neck.
I grasped the cat by the back of its neck. I grasped the cat by the back of its neck.
I don't grasp your meaning.
I don't grasp your meaning. I don't grasp your meaning.
Grass.
Grass. Grass.
Keep off the grass.
Keep off the grass. Keep off the grass.
The grass was covered with frost in the early morning.
The grass was covered with frost in the early morning. The grass was covered with frost in the early morning.
Grateful.
Grateful. Grateful.
I am grateful to you for your help.
I am grateful to you for your help. I am grateful to you for your help.
Gratitude.
Gratitude. Gratitude.
I am full of gratitude to you for helping me.
I am full of gratitude to you for helping me. I am full of gratitude to you for helping me.
Grave.
Grave. Grave.
Is there life beyond the grave?
Is there life beyond the grave? Is there life beyond the grave?
Gravity.
Gravity. Gravity.
Gravity is a form of magnetism.
Gravity is a form of magnetism. Gravity is a form of magnetism.
Gray.
Gray. Gray.
His hair is turning gray.
His hair is turning gray. His hair is turning gray.
She was dressed in gray.
She was dressed in gray. She was dressed in gray.
Great.
Great. Great.
Einstein was a great scientist.
Einstein was a great scientist. Einstein was a great scientist.
Greedy.
Greedy. Greedy.
Don't be so greedy.
Don't be so greedy. Don't be so greedy.
Green.
green.
A green banana is not ripe enough to eat.
A green banana is not ripe enough to eat. A green banana is not ripe enough to eat.
The green grass is cherry.
The green grass is cherry. The green grass is cherry.
He ate a green apple.
He ate a green apple. He ate a green apple.
Greenhouse.
Greenhouse.
Behind the greenhouse is a greenhouse.
Behind the greenhouse is a greenhouse. Behind the greenhouse is a greenhouse.
Greet.
She
greeted her guests at the door.
She greeted her guests at the door. She greeted her guests at the door.
Greeting.
He
gave me a cheerful greeting.
He gave me a cheerful greeting. He gave me a cheerful greeting.
Gray.
She
is going gray.
She is going gray. She is going gray.
Grind.
He
ground his knee into the man's stomach.
He ground his knee into the man's stomach. He ground his knee into the man's stomach.
Corn is ground into meal.
Corn is ground into meal. Corn is ground into meal.
Grip.
She
gripped her mother's hand in fear.
She gripped her mother's hand in fear. She gripped her mother's hand in fear.
Grocer.
You
can buy biscuits, sugar, soap and tea at the grocer's.
You can buy biscuits, sugar, soap and tea at the grocer's. You can buy biscuits, sugar, soap and tea at the grocer's.
Gross.
The
company grossed over 5 million yuan last year.
The company grossed over 5 million yuan last year. The company grossed over 5 million yuan last year.
Ground. I always ground my arguments on facts.
I always ground my arguments on facts. I always ground my arguments on facts.
The thick snow covers the ground.
The thick snow covers the ground. The thick snow covers the ground.
Group. The boys go to school in groups.
The boys go to school in groups. The boys go to school in groups.
A group of girls was waiting in that room.
A group of girls was waiting in that room. A group of girls was waiting in that room.
Grow. The farmer grows potatoes in this field.
The farmer grows potatoes in this field. The farmer grows potatoes in this field.
Grow up, please.
Grow up, please. Grow up, please.
The baby is growing quickly.
The baby is growing quickly. The baby is growing quickly.
Growth. Calcium is good to the growth of your bones.
Calcium is good to the growth of your bones. Calcium is good to the growth of your bones.
There has been a gradual growth in membership.
There has been a gradual growth in membership. There has been a gradual growth in membership.
Guarantee.
Who
can guarantee that his story is true?
Who can guarantee that his story is true? Who can guarantee that his story is true?
The possession of a degree does not guarantee you a job.
The possession of a degree does not guarantee you a job. The possession of a degree does not guarantee you a job.
Guard.
He
guarded us from all harm.
He guarded us from all harm. He guarded us from all harm.
The guard left before his replacement came.
The guard left before his replacement came. The guard left before his replacement came.
Guess.
Can
you guess the height of the tree?
Can you guess the height of the tree? Can you guess the height of the tree?
I guess it's going to rain.
I guess it's going to rain. I guess it's going to rain.
Make a guess, please.
Make a guess, please. Make a guess, please.
Guest.
We
have 3 guests to dinner.
We have 3 guests to dinner. We have 3 guests to dinner.
The foreign guests were motored to the guest house.
The foreign guests were motored to the guest house. The foreign guests were motored to the guest house.
Guidance.
He
did the work under the teacher's guidance.
He did the work under the teacher's guidance. He did the work under the teacher's guidance.
Guide. She is tourist guide of a travel bureau.
She is tourist guide of a travel bureau. She is tourist guide of a travel bureau.
They guided us to the office.
They guided us to the office. They guided us to the office.
Guideline. Guilty. He was found not guilty.
He was found not guilty. He was found not guilty.
Guitar.
The
The band played the guitar while we danced.
The band played the guitar while we danced. The band played the guitar while we danced.
She sang to the guitar.
She sang to the guitar. She sang to the guitar.